time of your life. Make the most of it. The time of your life.
Hi, I'm Jack Galasini, and I own, produce, and host the Time of Your Life television program. We've been on the air since April of 1995, and we're the longest-running program on WSFA. Our show targets the 50-plus audience, which is the largest and fastest-growing part of our society. Each week, we bring to our viewers segments of interest to them at this time in their lives. Let's take a look at some segments of shows that have already run to give you a flavor of the content of our programs. And welcome into Bon Appetit. You know what makes an Italian smile? When he walks into a restaurant and finds out that the chef is Italian.
Going, so you want to get a pan hot.
And we really want to use real butter
Absolutely.
as much as possible. Yeah, and normally
everything's okay in moderation.
It'd be real butter because it gives it that special flavor, and then, as you said, moderation. The other thing is obviously olive oil becomes a good
Absolutely.
Yeah, a good cooking agent also.
So I have some cubed and roasted butternut squash and acorn squash, and once we cube it, peel it and cube it, we just roast it in the oven for a little bit.
And squash is so good for you.
Absolutely.
This is so healthy.
And welcome into To Your Health. Well, it's the month of February. February is made for love. You can't have love without your heart. And we want to make sure that you're going to have a pretty good heart for the rest of your life. So all during the month of February, over the next 4 weeks, we're going to be focusing on that ticker and, of course, more importantly, all the vessels that go around that ticker. And my guest is Dr. Stephen Kwan. And Dr. Kwan, you are a cardiovascular surgeon. And basically today what we're going to try to find out is, you know, we age, and I get a little bit of gray hair here, so I can see that externally. But internally, how does my heart and how does the vascular system, how does that age?
Pretty much how you age on the outside is how you age on the inside.
And then what about when most of the people that are my audience that are older people, they grew up with a time when we're going to put salt on everything. Salt is really not that good for your system either, is it? And how does that affect your blood pressure and your vascular system?
Well, salt is awfully tasty, but it is not good for your blood pressure, especially when you're getting older. Young people can ingest salt, and your kidneys will just excrete it, and your body can handle it because it can handle the excess volume that salt adds to your body. If I have a gram of salt, it's going to retain that much more water to keep the sodium level about the same in your bloodstream. So if you take in a gram of salt, you're going to drink that much more water, and that's going to stay in your system. When you're young, you can handle that because your blood vessels can accommodate that, and your kidneys are very healthy, and it'll excrete the extra salt and water. However, as you get older, as we talked about, your blood vessels are not as compliant, and if you add another 4 grams of salt, which is what you're essentially doing when you're salting everything. You're going to drink that much more water because you're going to feel thirsty, and then your body's going to have an extra quart of fluid or 2 quarts of fluid, and then all of a sudden your blood pressure is going to go through the roof.
Welcome in to Focus on Fashion. We have missed you, and we're so glad to have you back, and we're going to get all the ladies beautified out there, I do believe.
Yes, we are.
And you know, I wanted to ask you, it's Dale and Betty from Focus on Fashion in the Eastbrook Shopping Center. You're all familiar with the girls, and give us a general idea about what is in fashion for this season coming up.
Well, there's still a lot of the sharp bite sides, you know,
Okay.
the longer sides. And this season they have added what they call high-low, your tops and things are higher in the front and lower in the back, kind of like what I have on here.
Okay.
See, it's just a little bit longer in the back.
And welcome into On the Go. You know, Virginia, I've lived here since 1962. During that period of time, each year we go down to the beach.
Right.
At least 2 or 3 times. Very interesting. In all that period of time, I have never been to Pensacola Beach.
Oh, beautiful.
Well, last year in May, Pat and I decided we're going to go down and just kind of take a look at Pensacola Beach. We went down there and we kind of liked what we saw. So last July, we went to Pensacola Beach and we fell in love with the area. We stayed at a really great property called Portofino. Pensacola Beach stretches from Gulf Breeze, Florida, some 27 miles until you hit Navarre Beach to the east. What's most unique about the beach is the fact that about 17 miles is state and federal areas with pure beach and no construction on either the Gulf or the bay side. The beaches are very big and have the beautiful white sand the Gulf is famous for. And of course, the water has that perfect greenish blue color. Well, we've got our own architect in the state of Alabama, and it's Mike Hubbard. And Mike Hubbard, you are Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Right.
You are the representative from the Auburn area.
Correct.
And of course, the reason I've referred to architect is because you were the architect in doing something that people thought was impossible.
Well, I don't know if I'm the architect. I'm the guy who put the team together, and I do take credit for that. But yeah, we had an historic situation in 2010 where Republicans took control of the Alabama legislature, both the House and the Senate, for the first time in 136 years.
You are the Speaker of the House. We just finished the session about a month or so ago, just a little over a month ago. How do you feel about it?
Well, you know, Jack, we had a successful session. You know, some people said, well, it wasn't quite as good as it was in 2011, the first year, but I think a lot of that is perception. The first year, we had an agenda. We didn't do anything until we passed that agenda. A lot of legislation that we had wanted to pass for decades and weren't able to do it, so we kind of made up for lost time. But this session was very productive. We said at the very outset that we wanted to be involved in legislation that helped create jobs and stimulate the economy, and I believe we did that.
Welcome into our moving parts, and again we have with us Dr. Michelle Olson, and she's already taught me something, and that's to sit up straight. You know, because as we get older, we tend to slouch over, and that's not good, folks. So just try to remember to hold your shoulders up straight and sit up straight. Today, our topic that she's going to teach us something about is, we love this, Jack, because we're familiar with the wrong ones and the right ones. But exercises that are joint friendly and exercises that are not joint friendly.
So when you're not done, you're not going, ooh. Yeah.
Because exercise is good, but not all exercise is good for every part of your body.
Absolutely. Exactly. There are some common exercises we probably did in our physical education classes as kids that through time, because we've learned them, they just carry forth and we repeat, you know, we repeat what we learn at an early age. So instead of maybe focusing on these kinds of stretches, we can do something that's more body friendly to warm up that area and just open our palms out and just do a jumping jack-like move with our arms.
You normally do the standing up, or you do
right.
sitting
You
down?
can do it seated.
Sitting or standing. Okay.
You can, if your neck is feeling tight and you're watching television or something, you can do them seated. You can do it as part of a warm-up, and to be pulling and doing this and this. The research really shows that impinges the shoulder. It pulls the bones too far away from the joint. It's just not necessary, and in the long run might pose more problems than good.
How many Psalms are there in the book of Psalms in the Hebrew Scriptures? If you say 150, you are right. How many of them are you familiar with? I find that many of us are familiar with Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want.
But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law.
Do you ever say things to people and wish you could take it back? I'm Jay Wolf, pastor of Montgomery's First Baptist Church, and I have that problem all the time because I use a lot of words. And the Bible warns us in Proverbs 18:21 that life and death is in the power of your tongue.
Though we more commonly refer to God as Father, the Scriptures also give us several images of God as Mother. God can no easier forget us than a mother could forget her child, the prophet tells his people.
Hey, for the best time of your life, have a positive attitude and know that all things work together for good for those who love God and are called according to His purpose.
As you can see, we end each one of our shows with reflection segment, since religion means a lot to our audience. Advertisers in the time of your life get great results and are impressed by the loyalty of our viewers.
Hi, my name is Betty Roberts with Focus on Fashion, and we have been with Time of Your Life, Jack Galassini, and Virginia for the last 6 years. And we have gotten more business from them than anything we've ever done, and we've been here 38 years. And they're easy to work with, they'll work around your schedule, and we really enjoy having this time with them. And their show, before we got on their show, we watched their show. It's very informative. You know, they have a lot of different things on: food, exercise, health, politicians, anything. You know, they have it. They have what's going on today. If we have election or whatever we have, they're right on the minute of what's going on. And I think most people enjoy this because we get them from everywhere. We get them from Tallahassee, Troy, Dothan, Selma. You know, they come from everywhere just from this show. And they'll tell us that they've come to visit us from the show. And we've been advertising for years, but yeah, ages. And this is the best one that we have ever done. So we want to thank Jack and Time of Your Life for letting us be on their show.
Okay. So if you're looking for an audience that has two things that most marketeers are looking for, and that's time and money, we invite you to join us as an advertiser on the Time of Your Life.